You're live.
Welcome, everybody. Just want to let you know what you can expect tonight on our call and with our presentation. We're going to have some great insights tonight on how you can make the most of your attendance at the Experience Show this year in Las Vegas. And we want to make sure that you get the most bang for your buck. If you've not yet registered for the event, we're reopening tonight an opportunity to go back to early registration of $179. That rate will only be available for a couple of days, only to the people on this call if you have not yet purchased your passes. All those on tonight's webinar will find out exactly where to be and when, and to get entered into the giveaway of $3,500 in chemical from our friends at Legend Brand. It's a chemical and equipment package. I think I want to come enter into that myself, with amazing chances of winning. Also, we'll show you how to get free chemical if you're at the Experience in the right place at the right time. The exact details of this will be given out in just a few minutes, but first, I just want to introduce a good friend of mine, and you're soon going to find out why. Joel Cohen ran his own successful carpet cleaning business for over 17 years and has had firsthand success studying and applying marketing techniques which allowed him to build and sell from the ground up two very successful carpet cleaning companies. In addition to providing marketing consulting for the purchases of his businesses, Joel's also consulted for several startup carpet cleaning companies, helping them get established through the use of highly efficient marketing. And for the last 3 years, Joel's been working closely with my friend Joe Polish and Piranha Marketing, teaching the latest marketing techniques to thousands of carpet cleaners all over the world and helping them get tons of new clients for their business. Joe and Joel were both at the Experience last year and were fantastic. And tonight, Joel is here to give you a little more preview of what Piranha Marketing will be sharing at the Experience. Joel, you there?
I am here. Thanks, Larry. That was appreciate the introduction, and it's nice for you and everyone to join us on the webinar tonight. Really good to be here. Really excited about the Experience this year, and I think that you know, all the things you mentioned, just kind of going through the list of items that just being on the webinar alone is a prelude to, you know, what to expect in the level for these events. I mean, you know, last year, well, like you said, it was a slam dunk. It was a hit to be there. We absolutely loved seeing all the people, you know, watching them as they're absorbing all of these new techniques they can learn about, you know, hands-on demonstrations they can see, watching how, you know, people would go to the different seminars that were offered and just come away with so much more than what they had to pay to be there. It's such an amazing value to get yourself down to these shows, and so we're excited to be a part of it. And you know, we have a real privilege too today to have on the call with us John Otero, and I want to just give John a little introduction too, so you know. I'm sure you probably, there's a really good chance you know who John is, because he's been in the industry for 25 years, and John basically worked in the restoration side of the industry for 13 years. And then 13 years in the manufacturing of restoration equipment and chemicals. During the course of his career, this was an interesting point that John was telling me, is that he was employed by Coit Services. So Coit's one of the largest franchise cleaning restoration companies. And before he actually became a general manager for Coit, he was in the top 1% of the national sales team for Coit. So John knows not only the industry side of things really well as far as the technical aspects, but he knows sales. He knows how to get customers, which is just, it's really cool. That floats my boat, because we're in marketing, and I love it when people know how to sell and know that selling is something that's good and helps people and can really make a difference. But you know, John also holds a bunch of industry certifications, probably more than we have time to list, but mostly in water damage restoration, restorative drying, carpet cleaning. And what's really cool is John has taught over 150 educational seminars, probably more at this point, these educational seminars and continuing education credits in our industry to approximately 3,000 restorers, insurance agents, adjusters in the United States and Canada. And so as of July 9th, 2014, so last summer, John is now the director of director of restoration products for Dri-Eaz for Legend Brands. So we're real privileged to have John on the webinar with us. And John, if you're there, I'd love for you to say hello to everyone.
How's everybody doing? It's great to be on this webinar with you, Joel, as well as Larry. Larry, I wanted to point out this would be my 11th convention with you.
Wow.
Things have changed so much. Last year, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it, and I heard everybody's like, "You missed it. It was unbelievable." And so this year, I just can't wait. It's gonna be a fun event. You definitely know how to throw a party, Larry.
Well, the whole goal is for everyone to have an amazing experience, and we work all year round just to make sure that that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have thousands of details, and I mean, just to give you guys an idea of Larry and the fact that he could be on this webinar as the organizer of the whole experience. I mean, it's a treat. It's a treat to be able to have him here because, down to the last minute, there's, thousands of details just in organizing a webinar like this so that we can give you some great information, get you pumped and excited about being there and knowing, what are the good things to see, what are the things you do not want to miss when you're here at the experience in Vegas. But, down to the wire, we've got, the last minute details, thousands of things, and, just making it here, Larry was by the skin of his teeth, and I know it wasn't for the fact of for not trying because the sheer amount of effort that goes into putting a convention on in this of this size and magnitude and quality is mind-boggling. It really is. So thank you again, Larry, for being here. What we would love to know, and all those listening, I'm sure, would love to know when it comes to the experience this year. You guys, you always have something new to look forward to, always something that we shouldn't miss. And so, would love to start off there and maybe give us some highlights of what's new, different, or what we shouldn't miss at the experience this year as we make our way to Vegas.
Well, I'll just tell you a few of them because there's so much going on at the program. It's hard to detail it in less than an hour. We have over 45 speakers on our program, so just coordinating all of their schedules, all of their room setups, and making sure everything flows has been a big job. But we're really excited about how great the program is. And of course, the program starts out in a big way with Legend Brands Golden Nuggets for a successful business. We're excited to have Piranha Marketing there again, and of course, the whole team at Legend Brands is going to be there sharing great information and education, and always very excited to have them as part of our program. We're doing some things this year that we've never done before. The first thing I do want to tell you, though, is that we're doing a speaker contest, and the speaker contest this year is not for the amateurs, it's for the pros. And so we actually put it out, and we got some great hits as to who's going to speak. So this year we have 4 speakers competing against each other. They get 20 minutes each. We have 3 judges there who are independent of all of them, plus the audience gets to vote on their app program for who the best presentation and presenter was. And they include this year Barry Costa, nice. Jeff Cross, Santiago Arango, and Andrew Conklin. And so it's a wide variety of different type of speakers and information, and I think it's really going to be fun. The winner, by the way, gets $2,000 in cash, a crystal trophy, and a lot of bragging rights for a year. So going to be a lot of fun. We're really excited about that. Let me tell you something else that's going on that we've been planning for 2 years, and we're going to pull it off this year. In our trade show hall, if you go to experiencetheevents.com and go to trade show and then go to our floor plan, you'll see that there's actually 14 live demonstration areas running in the trade show hall. Whenever the trade show hall is open, they'll be running concurrently. And they include carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, hard surface cleaning. And on the hard surface piece, we have custom builders coming in, and they're actually going to be teaching some installation areas specifically related to tile and stone, which will be pretty unique. We're going to build walls for them. They have some new mastics that are so fast and amazing, no adhesives whatsoever, and be very interesting to watch. And then, of course, Legend Brands has two areas back there, one for Sapphire, one for Dri-Eaz. They're going to be doing live demonstrations back there. You can go try their equipment before you buy it. You can test it all out. And then the next three booths are all going to be water damage related. And then we also have a full rug cleaning plant there also. So you can go clean rugs and try them out. Then we're doing something else pretty unique. We're actually going to have parts from truck mounts, engines, blowers, pumps, various components, all cut in half so you can see the inside of these components, see how they work and how to maintain them properly. Yeah, that'll be pretty unique and a great opportunity to learn from the manufacturers. They'll be there to really teach you how to take care of those units. And of course, we have the Mikey Fest going on again, and Mike will be there with a whole team of experts who are going to be teaching hands-on how to really test the equipment and let them go head-to-head. Outside, we're going to have some our units, mounted units by the door. We're going to run their wands inside, and they're going to compete head-to-head against each other as to whose unit is the best. There's actually 14 truck mounts outside this year, which is the most we've ever had, and we've moved a lot of the hands-on to the inside because it does get a little warm. But in the trade show hall, we give away free beer the whole time the trade show is open so that people do stay quite refreshed. Just a couple of other really quick things I'll mention also. On Thursday evening, the Experience is hosting a big party. These guys talked about us liking to party. We really do. And so we're putting on a party out at the pool at the Mirage. We rented the whole pool area and feeding everybody dinner. There's drinks out there, and everybody is invited. All you need is your name badge if you're trade show only or if you're full registration. If you're there with your wife and she hasn't registered, they can register her right at the door there so that she can come join you also. We'll do a poker tournament that night also over in the casino, and so we're working hard just to make sure people really have a great time. One of the other things we're introducing this time for the first time is we're doing a 2-hour presentation on infectious disease. Now, I know you're reading the headlines like I am, and there's scares all over the world about these major disasters that are going on. And some of the people in our industry are actually getting asked to participate in cleanup on these infectious disease cases. And it's very complex and very important that we train our industry the right way. So if you have any interest in understanding what this is about, we're going to give you a 2-hour overview. If you want to go into training, it is weeks and weeks of training, and we're going to start working on presenting that training at future events and around the country as we go forward also. So our show closes out on Friday at about 3 o'clock. And during the show, even at the pool party and after the show, we're going to have about $45,000 in giveaway prizes. Some of them you will actually be able to buy tickets for if you have a tool that you're specifically interested in. But we have machines we're giving away. We have all kinds of tools that will be raffled off. And we also have our Apple a Day giveaway, which we have an amazing app program which will help you not just only find out where the map is in there, but also a great opportunity to win all these great prizes. And we really want to give them away because our sponsors, like Legend Brands, have helped us so much to make a difference at the show.
Yeah, that's just awesome. You know, I'm listening to all these things, and you read the agenda when you're looking at, considering coming, and to hear, firsthand what's going to be happening. It's like, why not just go? I know there may be there may be some people on the webinar now that were thinking, maybe I should go, maybe I shouldn't. But I mean, what do you think the number one reason people don't end up coming to the experiences? I mean, you've been doing this a long time. You ever hear people's excuses?
Great question. I think it's being away for 4 or 5 days from their business is challenging. But here's what we hear from our attendees. By continually attending our shows, what they're doing is they're learning the most advanced techniques in the industry, hands-on, and they're going back and applying them, and it's giving them a major advantage over their competitors. And I can tell you story after story of people that are there year in and year out that have doubled and tripled their business size from the knowledge they're gaining in the classrooms and hands-on.
Larry, I have to add, education's the foundation of success. And for them to come to the experience, they're really just, as you said, is investing in themselves. And, wow, you have a lot going on. So I definitely would recommend everybody who is in the cleaning and restoration to come to this event. There's just so much.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, and the same thing too is like Joe constantly preaches this, and we've all seen it. Is when you actually pay money, then you pay attention, and you get your butt down there, you make that effort, that sacrifice to be gone from your business. You're going to glean as much as possible from anything and everything you can get at the experience. And it's the same with any event that you bring yourself to. You want to get the most out of it. And the thing here, though, with the experience that I can see is that there is probably more available than you can ever consume. And so it makes that value, that ratio of spending the time away, spending the money, it makes it so much more worth it when you can go. Did we lose Larry? I was going to ask him a really good question, but I want to ask. Maybe you have some insights on this, John. If you had to take a look at the industry and the slice of the industry that makes the effort to go to the experience versus not, where do you think percentage-wise those people are regarding success in their business?
For those who, I think Larry is right. Since I've been to about 11 of his conventions, those customers who go have always taken, and this is one of the reasons why we have at Legend Brands named our session the Golden Nuggets, is because they take about 5 gold nuggets from each convention each year, and when they implement them, their growth in their business just takes off. If you're not doing restoration, you learn about how to do restoration. If you're not doing hard surface, you learn how to do that, and by implementing and that's why Larry has so many classes and seminars going on, is because he really does want you to grow your business, and so it's a great investment, and you're going to have a lot of fun. So yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's the thing too. It's like the fun factor is what's really cool. And the same thing is true too. What we see is the people who consistently make efforts to go and educate themselves and be at events like this. In the people that we help, if we look at the slice of Piranha Marketing's clientele, and consistently it's those who are spending the money on educating themselves and then applying what they learn. And so this is a place to do it.
One of the things I want to add with that, Joel, is one of the things we haven't even talked about is networking with other owners, right?
Yeah.
Thinking about some you might learn what is working with one company and you're not using it in that one, and you just get to network and learn from your peers, which is just also a great, fun way of learning how to grow your business as well.
Yeah, that's priceless. It really is, and there's lots of networking opportunities at the show too, which is another really unique thing that I liked about this event. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Larry will be able to get back on. He was having some technical issues at the beginning too, and it was great that we actually got to see him and that he could give us that rundown, because I don't think as excited as both you and I, John, are about the show, I don't think we could have given the insights that Larry gave in the time he's here. But regarding the show itself, I think it's important that, and Larry mentioned it, but I think it's really important that you understand, if you're watching this, that the show, says the start time of the show is 4 o'clock on September 9th. Well, that's just the trade show doors.
Right.
But the real kickoff to the show starts at 8:30 a.m. on September 9th. And there's going to be a session that Larry again touched on, which is called Gold Nuggets for a Successful Business Session. And John, you touched on it too. Mm-hmm. And, last year we had, people who didn't get there earlier, didn't get registered in time, didn't get in. There was standing room only in the room. There was a huge, just a ton of excitement for being there and getting started, and then what was shared was amazing. And so this year we've got some more things planned. I'm going to open up the session for Piranha Marketing for our section of this Gold Nuggets for a Successful Business. And what we're going to be sharing there this year has a lot to do with what it takes, like what are the standards for success. Larry just texted me. He said he's trying to get back in. So maybe we'll get to see him again here before it's over. It's a good thing it wasn't when he was talking. He was pretty much done. We had a few more questions for him, but no. But when it comes to the fastest way to getting success, and John, you and I talked about this. There are a lot of successful companies, a lot of successful carpet cleaning companies, and a good portion of them that are having success are going to be there at the experience. Now, would venture to say too that there's going to be a portion who want more success that are coming to the show to find out, how do I do it? And so, when it comes to different ideas to grow your business, they actually are plentiful. You can find ideas on what you're supposed to do to grow your business almost on every corner. Everybody's got their shingle out showing you how to do it. However, when it comes to the techniques and the strategies that Piranha Marketing has, we have case studies after case study after case study of people that have joined our different contests that we put on through the years, where they had to painstakingly put together financial packages that show what strategies they used, how that made their business grow, what were the top strategies. They had to get the financials to enter the contest, they had to get those signed off so that they were verified, so that we know that this wasn't just we wanted to make sure if they were really entering that they were sincere and that they'd done these things. So we have these verified case studies, and just literally last year we showed on a video at the session the volumes and volumes, and we just showed a tiny portion of it, but there's volumes of case studies where people have entered these contest packets that are a real way to grow your business. And so what we're going to do this year is we're focusing on some of those top strategies, and we're just going to give them away to the people who come to the session. So we're going to take the top 2 or 3 of the strategies out of all those case studies and make it really simple so that people can leave with something that's tangible, a step-by-step process on what these people did and how they can duplicate those things in their business. So those kind of strategies where, because people can tell you, hey, I got a good idea, try this. But when you have a strategy that's actually been tested and put into place and generated the most amount of cash that's documented in the industry, and we can give those to you and hand those to you as a way to just take and use in your business, you're going to walk away with a solid plan on how to get to the next level. So that's one of the things we're going to be talking about, which, if that's all we did, it would be amazing. That would pay for, again and again and again, your being at the experience. And then again, that's just one tiny section of one presentation, a pretty important presentation to be at for sure. But the other thing that we're going to cover is a newer strategy, a newer way to take something that we know is tried and proven and works and apply it in an easy fashion digitally. And what we're going to do is we've got a great solution for getting and posting testimonials and reviews. And we're going to show you, why that's important to have reviews, what to do with these reviews once you have them, and how it impacts your business. And we'll give you a great solution for putting that into place. So another strategy in your business. So I'm excited about that.
I don't think a lot of companies in the cleaning industry know how valuable testimonials are, and it's very impactful. So let me ask you this, Joel: Would you, instead of just showing up, wouldn't you recommend that the attendees, before they come here, look from the outside into their company and find out what are their 5 weakest points, and then make sure that those 5 points are answered at this convention? Probably the Piranha Group will answer all 5, but if you have questions that you need answered, then that makes the convention even more impactful, right? I need these 5 questions answered. Wouldn't you agree with that?
It's a matter of focus, right? And I think that's an excellent plan, because you can do this. Here, this will give you a quick illustration of the power of focus. So right now in your room, you can look around wherever you're sitting, wherever you're watching this. Look around the room, and I want you to focus on everything that's green in the room, okay? So find the green things in the room. And now once you are done, you got those solidly in your mind, close your eyes, and now focus on everything red.
Yeah.
That's not easy, right?
Right.
If your eyes are closed, you're not cheating. You focused on the green, and so, in other words, the power of focus shows that whatever you're intent on is what you will see. And so I think that's a fantastic idea to do that. Come to the experience with a plan, because there's far too many things that you will that are there to get it all. And so if you have a plan like you mentioned, it's great. I wanted to say one more thing just regarding our presentation, case studies, and just a story just came to mind. I had wanted to share about Tim Copsey. So Tim was at the experience last year. He came to our presentation, and he took away some of the strategies that we taught there. And what was really important with Tim is, he was somebody who was fairly new to using the kind of marketing that we teach, and he didn't really know a ton about it. He hadn't studied what we call direct response marketing. He hadn't taken a ton of classes on it. He basically had our strategies to work with, and he followed them with a little bit of guidance. In other words, he took advantage of some of our support that Piranha has, some of the ways that people can consult with us or do group consultations where they can get their questions, their really specific questions answered, which are these insurmountable obstacles to them. But for us, it's super easy. We've done it 1,000 times, and we know exactly the steps that need to be taken or the adjustments that need to be made to get success with the strategies. Now, Tim, he was working in his father's business, and his father had been in business for over 20 years, and they had not broken $10,000 in a given month for a carpet cleaning service. Mm-hmm. And we're actually struggling at the point that they came to the experience. And what was really cool is I interviewed Tim on the Rich Cleaner podcast that we have at richcleaner.com, and we actually talked about what he had done. And when it boiled down to it, he more than doubled his business in less than a year, and was basically on track to do even better by just applying 3 simple strategies. It wasn't even like he had done 10, 20 strategies and was hustling. I mean, he just did the 3 strategies well. And so we'll take strategies like that and show you case studies like Tim, and that's what we want to provide. We want to give the people that come to our session that same ability to make life changes in their business, so that the results that they get, it just makes a huge difference when you can go from barely scraping by to all of a sudden doubling what your income is. Mm-hmm. It changes the way you look at things and the way that you realize how marketing can work for you and how your business can do what you want it to do in your life. Because isn't that why we all start businesses, right? Is we want we have this dream of what this business is going to do for us, because I mean it's just as easy to do a day-to-day grind and work for somebody and have a steady paycheck, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. But a lot of those who start a business have the idea that they can do something a little more. Maybe they'll have more freedom, more time to spend with their family and friends, or do things they love. And so when we can give that capability to someone and we can see those results and those life changes, I mean that's what floats my boat, man. That's why I'm in this, is to watch that happen.
Totally agree. With at this morning session on Wednesday, we'll have 4 speakers from Legend Brands, and just those 4 will have over 130 years of industry experience to provide you with solutions to the customer's problems. Right. What's interesting is, as you've been talking about implementing and focusing, 70% of customers are looking to solve their problems when they're purchasing something, either a product or a service. So what we're going to be doing after your presentation, after you've given some great golden nuggets, is we're going to talk about some modern technology from Legend Brands that's going to help solve some of the problems that the cleaners and restorers are dealing with out there.
Hey, John. Before you get into that, because I think what you're going to say is really important, but having Larry popped in,
there he is,
right there. I'm glad Larry's back. But you got in. What's funny, Larry, is we were talking about, like, if that was going to happen on a live webinar, it couldn't have happened at a better time. You've given us like the most amazing information about the experience and what to expect, and then poof, you were gone. So welcome back. Can you hear us? No, maybe not. So all right. So John, I want to make sure that if you could just restart what you were going to say there, because I know I got distracted, and I'm sure people are watching. They're probably like, well, "Why did Larry pop in as a woman, and then now he's Larry?" And so
no problem at all. So a lot of what's interesting is the speakers have over 130 years of industry experience. So when we are going to be talking about how to solve some of your problems, we're going to actually also be showing you some new technology, modern technology, and some of the Legend Brand products that will help you solve some of the problems that you're running into out in the field on there. Larry, can you hear us now? Oh, he's still there. Oh, it's okay. One thing we mentioned earlier, Joel, that we are giving away, Legend Brands is giving away $3,500 in product, chemicals and equipment. So what in that $3,500, just for coming to the morning session on Wednesday morning at 8:30, you will be put into a drawing to win a 500 PSI heater, portable. You'll also be able to have a chance to win a Velo air mover, a Dry-Ease dry pot air mover, some cases of Microban chemicals, and ChemSpec. So it is going to be a great way and a great chance of winning that $3,500 package, which is sponsored by Legend Brands.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, and I think the chances and the odds are really good, because the room only fits so many people, and so you're automatically getting entered when you get there. And we're going to give everybody a chance on this webinar to pre-register for that. So in other words, you get to raise your hand and say, "Hey, yeah, I'm going to be there," and make sure that you're in queue for that, so that when you're in the room, you get registered. But we'll give you a chance to do that on the webinar. But what an awesome opportunity! And I mean, if it wasn't enough, just what we're doing to give away what we're giving at the session, at the presentation, to have this awesome chance of winning, a great chemical package like that, really cool.
In addition, now I think some people might be a little confused who Legend Brands is, right? So under the label Legend Brands is actually Sapphire Scientific, which is the #1 truck mount industry with the smallest footprint in the industry regarding truck mounts. Then under that Legend Brands is also ChemSpec, which has been in business since 1952. And regarding ChemSpec, what I wanted to, I cannot give you all the details, but we are going to unveil a new product that I have never seen in 25 years. They showed me some results this week, and I was blown away. And
They're nanobots, right? They go
I was just like, can I talk about the details on the webinar tonight? And they're like, no, it is. But we are going to give you some of this product at the morning show on Wednesday, September 9th at 8:30. We're going to give you some. And once you try it, you'll just, let me tell you, it's innovative. It's unbelievable. So I can't go into any more of that, but please make sure you're there. And then Dri-Eaz. We all know Dri-Eaz. They've been in business since 1980. And what's interesting, Statue, I'm not sure if you knew that 85% of flood jobs are dried with Dri-Eaz equipment.
Yeah, that's impressive.
That is.
I bet you there's not a van on the planet that doesn't have some sort of Dri-Eaz equipment.
Right.
Yeah.
And then finally, under that Legend Brands is Microban or Pro Restore, and they've been in business since 1962. So over 185 years of combined that is under that Legend Brands umbrella. So kind of now you can understand a little bit more about that Legend Brands product.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for explaining that, and I think that makes it really clear because yeah, people probably are wondering, well, how does it all tie together if they didn't already know? And that's a great explanation of it. Well, there's a bunch of Larrys now.
Well, the good news is I can finally hear you.
Oh, good.
There he is.
Nice. So you got one other Larry picture frozen on my screen. I don't know. Anyhow, great to have you back.
It's good to be back.
So we were saying, it couldn't have happened at if you had to pick a time for your computer to cut out on a live session, it couldn't have happened at a better time. I mean, really. So because you got what you were going to say in, and then we were able to say our piece here. I wanted to just double check and see, was there anything else, John, that you had wanted to mention about your session?
We want to make sure, I think you said it correct, the trade show starts at 4 o'clock on Wednesday, but really this starts on 8:30 in the morning on Wednesday, September 9th. That's really where a lot of those golden nuggets you're going to want to take, and you will implement. Just by going to this session with the Piranha and the Legends group, you'll be amazed of new technology and new solutions to some of your everyday problems.
Yeah, no, that's great. Well said. And I got to say, man, 8:30 in the morning in Vegas comes early.
Right, right.
I mean, it really does. That city, you lose track of time so quickly there. And so if you're there on Thursday beforehand and you're doing whatever you're doing, exploring the city, watch the clock so that you can be refreshed and ready at 8:30 because there's a lot to absorb and learn. And if you're just sitting there, barely functioning because you stayed out too late, I mean, that's a waste. What we want you is to be refreshed, get your cup of coffee, come in. There's usually some excitement in the hall before the session starts at 8:30. Get your place in the auditorium as we are pulling everybody in and getting everybody there ready and be ready to learn and ready to take some things away that are going to change your business, change your life.
So Joel, wanted to just remind, so to get that free new technology regarding the product from ChemSpec, make sure you're at that morning session, and because it's a limited supply, so you got to be there at Wednesday morning to get that from ChemSpec. Yeah,
so I think Gina's listening, and I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't do this myself. We put together a link where, let me see, tell me if that shows up on your guys' screen, where you can click this link and kind of raise your hand and pre-register for this session that's happening at 8:30 a.m. on September 9th. And that way, we know who's coming, we know to expect you, and then you can take advantage of these perks. And also, the most important thing, Larry, are you able to contribute here and talk now, right? We can hear you still.
Yes,
So.
I hope I can.
Yep. Okay. Good. I just wanted to check. Can you give us the quick lowdown on this registration and what's available here through the webinar perks one more time? I know you mentioned it at the beginning.
Absolutely. Our early registration ended about 10 days ago, and I have a discount code for all of your listeners tonight to use. They can just go on to www.experiencetheevents.com, go to the registration link, and as you're registering, it's going to ask you if you have any special promo codes. And the promo code for tonight is PM, like Piranha Marketing, PMLV, like Las Vegas, 15. So PMLV 15 would be the program code you use, and you can register for $179 for all 3 days.
Wow.
That includes all of the receptions and the pool party and the exhibit hall. It's a great value, obviously. It costs us more as a show than the $179, but we've done everything we can to lower the price. We've lowered the price from $495 down to $179 to make sure that everybody can afford to be here, and we're trying to raise the bar in the industry, because the better everybody is, the better our industry is going to thrive. There's no question about it.
Totally agree.
Yeah, that makes sense. One more time, I think Gina will be able to add that code here to the webinar. But I'm going to put it in as well. You said it was PMLV 15. Gina, I'm sure you picked that up. What we would love to do is, now, Larry, if they call in, they can use that code when they call Jennifer too. Is that correct?
Well, they would call Terry.
Or Terry.
Terry's our registration manager, and her extension is 12.
Okay.
So call her directly, and all day tomorrow and Friday it'll be available. It'll be available over the weekend, but midnight on Sunday the discount goes away.
Midnight.
Now, let me also mention, Joel, that if people are coming, and we hope they all do, that they need to go to our website and get a hotel room tonight. And here's why. We still have a block of about 30 rooms left until midnight at $111.
Wow.
We lose our room block at midnight tonight, and the rate's going to go up to about $279.
Wow.
So they ought to stay in our hotel, and if they book it tonight, there's a small fee, like $15, but they get internet service anywhere in the hotel for their iPhone, for their iPad, for their laptop, whatever it is. So they can continue to work while they're there. Down in the convention center, in the trade show hall, it works everywhere.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And so, Gina, Gina's on, and I was going to see if there were any questions that we hadn't covered. I haven't been reading the chat. We've been, talking it up here. But is there anything that we didn't cover, or something that people had questions about?
I think it sounds amazing, you guys. I don't have any new questions, anything you didn't cover. I would say if you're on here, take our poll, and if you see that under the polls tab, go ahead and let us know if you've been to the experience before or not.
Can I vote? All right.
Yeah, where do I vote?
11 times, you guys. That's great, John.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so, I mean, really to be clear, make sure that you're taking advantage of everything that we've talked about, and to direct you in the right way, follow the link that's up if you click on your pop-ins tab, which, it should be relatively clear there on the side of your webinar if you're tuning in. And click on that pop-ins button, click the link, and as a matter of fact, you can go to cleanersresource.com/perks, and that will get you there as well. So either the link or that. Let me put it up real quick, and then I don't know if there's any final words that you guys had, John or Larry.
Larry, I first of all want to thank you for all the time and effort. You guys, you and your staff are just amazing. And it takes a long time to put this together. So I personally want to thank you for for what you guys do to bringing it to the industry and increasing our professionalism as a whole.
Well, John, thanks, but I got to tell you, we love doing it. We love the piece about producing it and trying to get the best programming we possibly can every show. And it's a challenge, obviously, but this show is going to be absolutely amazing. And I got to thank, Legend Brands for stepping up the way they have. Wow, what a great show they're going to have also there, and it's a great opportunity. And looking forward to having Piranha Marketing at our show again, and we would love to have all of you come be with us, and really going to have a great experience.
Awesome. Thanks again, Larry. And I put up the slide here so that if people are having trouble finding the link that we want them to click on to kind of pre-register and make sure they get access to all these cool perks that we've been talking about, they can go to www.cleanersresource.com/perks. And so with that, if there are no further questions, I think we covered it really well, and we did it in a nice short, concise manner. And man, I was already excited to go to the show myself. Now I'm more excited. I mean, it's just cool. I being there and being among peers that know what it's like to have this kind of business and to get those kind of results, it's awesome. So thank you again, Larry. I appreciate you putting this all together. And if there are anything further,
I think that's it. Thanks for your time, Joel, for putting this together.
Awesome. Well, yeah, on behalf of Piranha Marketing, Legend Brands, and The Experience, and Gina, thank you so much for your help with the chat roll. And yeah, we appreciate it. Hope to see you guys at Vegas. And you guys that are hosting with me, hang on one second, and we will see. If you're watching the webinar, we'll see you in Vegas. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.